Welcome to the third video in the eLumen series. For many faculty, this will be the last video you need. In this video, I will be showing you how to score assessments, which we learned how to create in the second video in the series, and how to use the import feature. In this example, I will be working with a 5-level assessment and scoring 2 student learning outcomes. After logging into eLumen, make sure you are in the faculty role, as some of you may have other coordinator roles. Once you have added an assessment, it will be listed in the course CRN where you made or added it. If you are planning to score your assessments directly in eLumen, there are 2 views. If you hover your mouse over the icons, it will show you which view is which. As you can see, on the left is the scorecard view, and on the right is the rubric view. The rubric view will show you one student at a time, but it will also show you the rubric that you created in the assessment. The useful part of the rubric view is also that the student names will turn blue once you have assigned scores, and the students who have yet to be scored will be in light blue. This can be useful if you were interrupted while you were doing your assessment and aren't sure which students you have scored yet. The fastest way to score in eLumen, however, is the scorecard view. At the top right, you can see Actions, and this will allow you to switch to the scorecard view. The scorecard view will show you all of your students on one page and allow you to click the appropriate score for each student learning outcome. If you get interrupted, be sure to scroll to the bottom of the page and hit Save. As you are scoring your assessments, if you go back to your Faculty Courses page, you will see the number of students who have a score. Once all students have a score, you will see a green check mark. If you have students who are listed in your roster but were not present for the assessment, simply choose NA. Think of it as not assessed. The last option is for those of you who like to use Excel for your grading. This will be the import feature. Uploading scores to eLumen is pretty easy. The one thing you have to keep in mind is that the spreadsheet must have the student IDs and a whole number based on your assessment scale. For example, if you have an assessment scale of 1 to 3, you cannot have a score of 4 or 5. Scores must also be in whole numbers, meaning it can't be 2.5 or similar. This is important if you used formulas in your spreadsheet to calculate the score. If you did, I recommend using the round formula in Excel to make sure that it is rounded to the nearest whole number. To upload, simply choose the icon for Import Scores. I recommend creating a folder on your P drive labeled Assessments or SLOA or similar to make it easier to find such files. Click Choose File, and a pop-up box will appear allowing you to find your file. Once you have found your file, simply click Open. The file will appear, and click on Upload. One important note here is that the file must be in XLSX or the most recent Excel format. This just means that if you have it in another format such as CSV or TXT, you will need to open it in Excel and save it as the most recent version before you upload the file. Once you have uploaded the spreadsheet, a preview of it will be shown on your screen, such as what you see on my screen. The last bit here is to align the columns, which just means telling eLumen which columns hold the appropriate information. To do this, simply select the column at the top of the Excel spreadsheet shown in eLumen and align it to the correct column. So for example, I'm choosing column A, and those are my student IDs, and so I will now click Align Selected Column for Student ID. I have 2 outcomes, and so I will choose the appropriate outcome, and again, then hit Align Selected Column. Do this until you have aligned all of the columns you are going to set up. As you see in my spreadsheet, you may have more information in your Excel spreadsheet than you are going to upload to eLumen, but not the reverse. Meaning, if you have an assessment with 2 outcomes, you must have 2 outcome score to upload at that time. If you have the reverse problem, if you selected all of your outcomes but only have information for 1 or 2 of them, you have 2 options. 1, wait until you have collected all of the outcome data, or 2, simply create an assessment that only has the outcomes included for which you have collected data. The second option is probably better so that we don't forget our assessment data. Once you have aligned your columns, click the blue Import Scores button. If everything has gone as planned, we'll show you the blue screen. Please notice this current error. Errors occurred while importing. Please verify that all fields were aligned, that the Excel sheet matches the assessment, and here's my problem, that there are no previous scores. To fix this, you can simply go back to your course spreadsheet, and now you can go to either the scorecard or the rubric view. If you go to the scorecard view, there's a nice little feature at the bottom here. Notice that at the bottom of the scorecard there is a checkbox that says clear all scores from this scorecard. Once you click it, it will allow you to then clear scores. We now have a clean scorecard for which we may now import scores. Now we can resume importing scores. Again, click Import Scores, choose a file, find the correct file on your drive, click Open, Upload, and then again click on the column and then Align Selected Column, and do this until you have all of your outcomes selected. Hit Import Scores, and if done correctly, you will now see this green Import Completed, and it will tell you that 36 students have been scored. You have 2 options from here. You can go back to the courses screen or continue to the action plan. Best practice is to go back to the courses screen and make sure that you have all of the students' scores. From the courses screen, I can see that I have 36 of 37 students. Here, it is useful to go to the rubric view. The rubric view will show you on the left all of the students who have scores. The one that is in the other color, the light blue, lightest of blue, is the one who's missing a score. Without a score, I would choose Not Assessed, Save and Next, and now as I go back to this courses screen, we get the all-important check mark. Once you get that check mark, you are done with your assessment. Good job! This is the last video that you will need. If you do get other errors when you are uploading, be sure to check the file format, the student IDs, and if you are still getting errors and don't know why, feel free to ask one of the SLOA coordinators to look it over for you. I hope that you have found these videos helpful. If at any time you need any help, please don't hesitate to contact one of your SLOA coordinators.